Hi, I'm Julia with JuliaRayPhotography.com and welcome back to another episode of Tutorial Tuesday. Anyway, so when you take them in RAW, this is what pops up, and this is where most of my initial editing is done, and it's very, very handy. You can change the color temperature of the photo. It gives you a couple of, like if you just took it in the wrong white balance setting, you can just change it like that, but it's always fun to mess around with all the little levers. You can do selective coloring in here on another window I'll show you in a second. I like contrasty photos if you can't tell. So, curves is here. So I'm a big contrast fan. I think it makes the subject pop more. You can sharpen your photo, which is kind of the clarity slider as well over here. But that's sharpening. You can reduce noise if you had a high ISO. It also tells you what your settings were. I took this on my 50, as you can see. Okay, so here's like the selective coloring. You can just change, this is the hue of the photo. I want it I want it more warm, but I don't want to be too warm. So I'm going to adjust the blue luminance. I want some more blue. Okay, I want to go back to RGB, increase a little bit of the blue. The opposite of blue is yellow if you wanted your photo more yellow. The opposite of green is magenta. I want it a little more purple. It's kind of cool. And keep that area. There we go. And then you can also adjust the red tones if you'd like. You can change the hue of the photo here. This allows you to vignette if you wanted that. Here's a vignette. This one's second. It's kind of cool. I don't really want a vignette. If I do, I'll do it later when I open up the photo. Okay, so I like how this looks. That was the original, so this is the new. I'm gonna copy my background, Apple J. I'm going to look close up, see if I want to get rid of anything. Anything's too distracting? No. Okay, so I do want to sharpen my leaf. So I'm going to use the pen tool. We discussed this last week. I'm going to go to sharpen, unsharp mask, and you can preview it. Let's look how much more in focus that is. You can make it way drastic, like that's way too much. So you want to just mess with the levers. Perfect. This is a little purple. So I'm actually going to go back to selective color, go to magenta, decrease the magenta. I want to increase the yellows, not greens. It's a little more yellow than it was. You can see it like right here and in the leaf. So I'm gonna bring a little back, increase the reds a little bit. Oh. Okay, I like how that looks. So, if I wanted to add a vignette at this stage, I would just copy the layer, B for brush, make my brush really big, D for black and white, get a little smaller, I want my opacity like 18%, create a new layer, and then brush on that layer really lightly. and then change, let's see, and reduce the opacity. That just darkens it up. If I wanted, I could go even closer. It's pretty cool. I like how that looks. So, before, after, before, after. Thanks so much for watching, and check back in next week for another episode of Tutorial Tuesday for more tips and tricks in Photoshop. Thanks so much.